Meeting of the Sherman County Commissioners come to order. Public forum for the first 15 minutes, and we'll continue signing papers.
You guys are signing paper. Is it hard to move a meeting? Like on April the 10th, the day after Easter, can we move that meeting?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like a Wednesday, does that work? Do that.
I think as long as we know it in advance, and that's pretty much in advance there.
So move the 10th to the 12th.
Yeah, 10th to the 12th, we can do that.
Okay. Because I know I'll be gone on the 28th. So,
Yeah.
of April.
That's a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Work it on there. Yeah.
He's only been on the board 3 months, and he's moving things around.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey guys, just so you know, I'm showing audio being picked up. I can't hear
You can't hear nothing back there?
now,
Huh.
but
Oh.
I'm just picking up audio.
Okay.
Okay.
Hand me your pile of checks then, please. I can shelf them for. There's 2 of them. They're
Morning.
Morning, Brett.
Motion. Good bills.
I'll second.
601-604-72 and $585.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Bills paid. Where did you put those change orders? Did they get stuck in here?
Order.
Oh, okay.
Has been noted.
That's all right. This one, you could take one and pass them down. Fire board minutes. Fire board minutes. We have one tax roll correction, and it is she never owned a truck, so change the tax roll. Do I hear a motion to change that?
I'll make a motion to change the tax roll.
Okay, been moved and seconded. The tax system last three numbers are 253. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. This is a certificate for Mr. Ryan Shipner. And I have a question for you, Ashley. See if I can find my. This is from Samantha Morris, and this is about the Kansas addiction treatment. Listing my Kansas addiction treatment resources. And I can give you that email. Wants to know who to contact.
You don't need it.
No.
Oh.
No. I just got it today.
Oh, okay.
That's I didn't read it all yet.
But I need to sign that.
Yeah, you were looking at it.
Look at
Good morning.
Doc, how's your son doing?
Good. Pretty great.
What's he gonna go into?
Well, he's thinking finance or accounting. Figure out which way he's going.
Absolutely.
I really like it. That's from the turn him off at age.
Cool.
So,
He was a nice young man when I was growing up here. He was really nice.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is just, we need your signature on a certificate there. Okay. This is a agreement with the gas Lobo Productions for gas order division. Brett reviewed it. All I need is to have my signature on it. So
Steve, what was that for?
it's for, we have a gas well on the county property,
Okay.
and it's just if you want to figure out how much we're getting .001339.
Okay.
That's the one I think the check will come postage due. Mr. Magnum, how much time do you need for executive session?
We're gonna start with 30 minutes.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for executive session for 30 minutes.
So moved.
Moved. Is there a second on that? It moved and second. We go into executive session for 30 minutes. I'm thinking we have Dr. Days and Chief James.
She's there.
Anybody else?
Brett and Brett.
And-
That's always fun when I'm named quiet.
Been moved and second. We're going to executive session for 30 minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose same sign. session. Thank you. Mr. James.
Okay. So, Goodland Regional Medical Center, they have changed their IV pumps to a whole different kind of system that we don't have on our ambulances. So, to make things a lot easier in transition when we do these transfers out of Burlington, is instead of having to despike a bag and respike a bag and put it onto a whole different new pump and so forth, so on, it'd just be easier if we just had apples and apples. So, so what I'm requesting is, because it's over my $2,500 as a department head for approval, I would need your guys' approval. I was wanting to order 2 IV pumps. That'd be perfect for what we need for taking transfers out of Goodland. Each pump is $1,600, so total amount is $3,200.
I would make a motion to approve the quote for the IV pumps.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. We approve purchase of 2 IV pumps for the ambulance service. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I know that makes it, I can remember, I'm so old, when we had Zols and Physiomed,
Mhm.
and we were switching pads. Well, that was not only expense for us, but for patients also, because we 2 sets of pads, and how easy is it now? You unplug
We're plugged right back in, right?
and you're working. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So I second too on this whole thing. So, but just makes the process a lot
yeah,
easier, and
all you got to do is switch the cassette, and you're going again.
that's exactly right. So,
Okay,
perfect. Thanks, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Magnum, you want another session now, or can we fit Mr. Sanderson in, or what do you wish to do?
I have. That's you. Can you look?
Dan's on the outside council is on the Zoom yet, not pushed her back.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Lovelace. Okay, she's on, so
Did you want me to?
let's go ahead, since we have her, we'll go into executive session again for, what do you think, 15?
How much time do you need, Trish? I don't have her.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How much time do you need, Trish? About 15 minutes? 20?
It's really up to you. So I can take
Let's
as
go
little or
20.
as much
Okay.
time.
20 minutes.
I am on the schedule.
I thought it was,
You're on there.
yeah, you're
You're
on
there.
there. It's like 10 something, so. Okay,
Yeah, I noticed on the agenda it was just for 15 minutes. And so if you've got something else going on and we need to,
I think we'll start with 20 and see if that works for us, Chris, and then go from there.
Motion for executive session.
Motion for executive session for 20 minutes to reconvene here.
I'll second that.
Been moved in a second. We have the executive session for 20 minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Executive session. Okay. Do I have a motion that we continue executive session for another 20 minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Been moved and seconded. We continue executive session for another 20 minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. We'll go back into executive session now, Trish. Lindstrom.
What we may have to do is just have like one of us go to Belleville or something and take notes and some video, so we don't have a special meeting. I've been around that stuff my whole life, so I mean, I don't need to go.
Mr. Sanderson.
Mr. Everett.
You're next on the list.
Batter up. Okay, sit close to the microphone. I asked Kenny to come in. We've had some discussions with Dave Spalsbury on kind of the next steps forward, and Kenny's here to kind of explain what those steps are and time frame and what it means and why we want to be thinking about doing some of the things we're thinking about. So I will let Kenny fire away.
Thank you, Rod. The first step after discussion with Dave and going forward with this, obviously we have vegetation problems, submerged vegetation. There is a small amount of emergent vegetation, cattails, soft stem bulrush, which is the soft stem bulrush is not an issue. Cattails potentially be an issue in the future. The immediate concern is the submerged vegetation. One of the reasons the impoundment is so clear is any nutrients that are present in the system. The clarity of the water has allowed the aquatic vegetation to just take over. We need some nutrients left in the water for plankton bloom, which is the beginning of the food chain. Fish do not eat weeds. The length of time that this is went forward without treatment has created a situation where we're questioning the health of population of fish or structure of population. Dave strongly feels that we need to get this vegetation under control. I don't think anybody would affect fish if you're looking at it. It's everywhere. Very few open places to the bottom. Situation we have right now is such that it's conducive to a stunted panfish environment. So this is something we need to look at as far as eradicating. If we could get 60, 70% eradication, 30% remaining is the general rule of thumb for fisheries management for nursery habitat. Unfortunately, we have a tremendous amount of nursery habitat that allows no predation. You can read that as a control of the forage species. In order to have an accurate map to use as a drawing going forward with this, Dave wants a bathymetry map made, which will require the use of gas outlet to do that. I have the equipment to do it. That's why I brought this today. This is something I've done for the state of Nebraska. This is Swanson Reservoir. The first page is a description of road bed and kind of a basic idea of what that looks like after completion.
No, those numbers are very depth.
Those are depth contours. These are 1 foot intervals. If you look at page 2, that's the GPS mapping track.
That's where they went and took all their readings.
That's me going back and forth, and it is logging that information. Then we take that micro-SD card. The state has a couple of systems that they can utilize to develop a map. And by developing this map, we have GPS coordinates. We have the full bathymetry map to go by, which is the equivalent of a water-based system, basically. I added a couple other pages there just to depict. Third page is definition, resolution, as possible detail. That specifically is where the river bridge used to be in the middle of the page and shows you a creek channel. But this is an incredibly active system, and the fourth page is pretty wild. It goes from 1 foot, down to 30 plus feet. I just wanted to give you an idea of what this technology does. Kind of shows you how that works. But that's the type of map we need for smoking to use as a drawing board. Let's sit down and okay, if we're going to treat the bottom 70% of the deepest water, then we have drawing with GPS coordinates. We can go in and treat chemically those areas that we need to use this map. It will also come in handy later for any habitat or structure infrastructure improvement that is badly needed.
Now you're also going to be taking samples of the
Yes,
plants.
we'll be using a rake on an extended handle in several locations to pull submerged vegetation because we have multiple types. And we've been able to identify 4 different types that require the use of 2 different chemicals to control. We're hoping that we don't find any ravenville, which is a nasty, quick spreading, almost can't do anything, but it's considered an aquatic nuisance species. It is invasive. It's on the list of aquatic invasive species that require governments to document and block certain types of uses. No water in the facility. That's protection for other waters. Personally, I don't think any of that.
Are there any lakes anywhere near here?
There are. Cedar Bluff Reservoir has it. Swanson, Nebraska has it. Andrews has it. Scott State Lake has it. Logan County State Lake has it. But for us to have it here, we really don't have anything currently west of us that has held water. Bonnie's gone. So the only way it would be present again would be transportation by another water vessel, potentially waterfowl could transfer that. Generally, our waterfowl is an east and west corridor. It's all north and south. So they do, it's normal for plants to waterfowl travel. That's going to happen. That's how you deal with going forward. It's going to be important. And down there the other day, as soon as the ice came off, I see evidence of dead material on the surface. With the amount of vegetation you have present, decomposition process and not fully occurred in a winter's time, but we have so much material. Now, the technology that I use, the transducers that I use, will depict the vegetation, the thickness of the vegetation, it's dead mats laid down, decomposing. It will depict bottom substrate and type, whether it's soft silt, clay, gravel substrate, or hard rock substrate. That'll give us a drawing going forward. That's what the state has requested us to do to get that map.
That'd be step one. Now,
Yes.
you get it mapped first and decide what areas are treated for eradication.
Is there any natural way of treating the vegetation?
Biological means of treating vegetation to some extent, and that would be white algae or grass carp. The problem with the grass carp is in an impoundment like this where we have to flow through, they tend to work with the bottom substrate. They tend to stir the water up. In any numbers, the number of fish that you can take required, and they won't eat the dead vegetation. They'll only eat the dead vegetation, as would occur with a herbicide treatment. There will be a short period of time, and as soon as it's August, that's dying down, treat the whole thing in one shot. The reason for that decomposition process requires knockoff out of the water. If the impoundment even happen, it's treated at one time, can't say how the total fish. And I think all things considered, we don't want to kill anything that could help.
Great.
So probably going to be 15%, 10 to 15% area treated at a time. If we decide, you guys decide to go that route.
Do we have
What kind of cost are we looking at?
Yeah, there you go.
The chemicals, we know of 2 chemicals that will be potentially required for a good portion of this. Navigate, aquathol are the 2 chemicals. The aquathol is $400 a gallon will treat a lot of area. Thing is, one application may not be, it may be a relatively heavy dose first application, and probably 5 to 8 applications to get the entire amount. You need a week, 10 days between it.
What is the recommended rate of chemical per cubic foot of water? How does that work?
Actually, it's on the area of aquatic vegetation. Yeah, it's per square foot. Okay. The thing is, until we get out there in Los Angeles and can determine if we've got, let's say, 70% of this is safe on, then we'll know better what the application rate is. I personally use this at least 4 impoundments, and it's a relatively light ice. That gallon will probably treat 4 to 6 acres. Okay. It will be nearly half of the impoundment. It always takes one spot at a time. We do have a little overlap.
How is this applied? Is it, you're just not going to drive over here this area and dump something in because you don't know what your saturation rate is.
It's going to be probably, it's going to require a boat to do it. And talked about different methods of application. They've got a rotenone-inducing device that goes with the cavitation plate of the boat. And it's a venture. If you idle water, it sucks out of the tank and pulling it into the water column or prop washer right now is distributing that out. Falls for both. That's probably one of the best ways to do it. If conditions are calm, you can use a sprayer and a single nozzle sprayer just cover up grid areas. Have some. There are gradient certain chemicals that provide a little bit more residual control. But the cost is about 3 times as much for granular versus the liquid.
What do you foresee being the initial expense of this? We have to have the grid map done, and then do the vegetation study, and the first go around of treating
the chemical application. Yes, it's going to be 2,000 or less. I think that's because my time is volunteer. My equipment is volunteer. we get that map out, get the submerged vegetation identified, make the call typical type, and like I said, it probably will go 2 different types. At least there may be a third call, but that third chemical type is going to be something like rodeo or that would be more for cat or emerging. There are some species present that don't know but we also know shoreline spillage with cat. You know, use small patches of okay, nutrients out of the water, but clearly water has produced a very infertile environment for growing fish. So, you know, with that being said, to proceed forward with this plan, I need the commissioner's permission to run my gas outboard on my rig for the purpose of producing the bio.
First get the map done,
Yeah, get the map done,
then identify what you got under there.
and, you know, going forward, if we find that a boat is going to be the best way to apply the chemical, you know, we can talk about that, I guess, when the time comes. As soon as we make a determination as to what chemicals we need, you know, going forward from there. But this would be the first step in, if we let that go this year, that thing is, it's gonna be nearly impossible to fish.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's totally impossible, but we need to get on top of this before we create any further problems that we can't control.
Well, we've pretty well made a commitment, I think, to keep this a nice fishing area for people to go down to, and so if that's what it's gonna take, you know, I'll make the motion that we allow you to do that. Okay, with that
I'll
in
second
mind.
that.
Okay, it's been moved in second. We allow Mr. Sanderson to have a, what do we call it, motorized boat on the water for the process of mapping the lake. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. There you go. And then,
To continue with this, we've looked into some compounds that potentially could slow our water use rate, that are a synthetic polymer that can be added to the water surface. It's 100% non-toxic to fish or any aquatic life. And another reason to have this map, the manufacturer of this polymer recommends that we do the deepest water,
Where the pressure is
where
great.
the hydrostatic pressure is the greatest. And if this is something that, you know, we look into in, I say, the near future, the field agent that I've been communicating with on this, given the leak rate, Rod and I were actually set down with some numbers. I got the pumping numbers, the dates, got a measurement since the pump was shut off, calculated the leak rate. I give that to the field agent with polymer. He says we need to apply for 3/4 of an inch a day. His prediction was possibly as high as 40 to 50% reduction. I realistically would be ecstatic with 25% reduction. And I think all things considered, without disturbing the fishery, or anything else, that is very achievable.
I'm gonna give these guys.
Is this a compound that you add to the water? You're not going to have to drain the lake to do that, right? Okay.
Since as the lake, in fact, we want the impoundment full when we do it.
Is it,
Hydrostatic pressure pushes that.
It's a flocculant,
Yep.
two-part.
is it pretty expensive to do?
The field agent that is the distributor for this in central United States is a customer of mine through Aquatic Specialties. And because of our relationship, we're going to offer some product at cost.
I was just thinking this.
It could be, the figures that we discussed could be $8,000 to $14,000. That's kind of the product range.
So it's
Now-
not something that we have to go and try to get a big grant for to
Well,
accommodate.
we got to remember that Kenny just is doing the CFAP agreement right now.
Yes.
Contract. Okay. In addition to that, it's not actually part of the agreement. But we can do the CFAP grant application. Now that would be something that we could actually put on the project. That's what we need. We need to decide. You know, once we get these costs and get an idea where we're going here, what all can we potentially apply for with up to $40,000 a year?
But
I'd like that.
It's the first part of this CFAP agreement, which I believe Brett of the original. That is the basic CFAP agreement, puts you in the program that qualifies Sherman County as a cooperator to receive several assistance categories from the state, one of those being fish, management practices. We also qualify for an O&M portion, cost of, maintaining the grounds. There's a certain portion of that they will allow us. It's not a huge amount of money, but it is, helps cover some costs.
A little over $1,000.
Yeah.
1,080 or something. 60.
And the more of that we can, everything that we do, whether it be county personnel or volunteers, that all needs to be documented. It needs to be coded to Smoky Gardens, whether it be labor, cost of equipment, volunteers in kind service. That all needs to be kept track of because there is a need and benefit statement that goes with that. And if written properly and accurate records are kept of the input, that moves us up the ladder further for consideration in placing when we do, if you guys choose to go further with the CFAP program and apply for the grants to do whatever work it is.
There's so much that needs done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that need done, but I think all things considered, Dave has, revisited the whole situation, and we're back to step one is vegetation assessment via a map types. But in the near future, possibly even this summer, priority-wise, we can be looking at what's the next best thing we need to do. We can sit down and start drafting plans for grant application. Which reminds me, there was something came up about the water reporting.
Yes. Okay. Ashley, did we get the water report for the Smoky it's turned in? Okay. I think my next question is, since that's not our water right.
Right.
I guess my question is why is the county having to do the report?
It just has to do with the level, like whether it's a
It-
quarter
it-
full, a half full, 3/4 full, or full. It doesn't go into the meter readings. I don't do that part. It's the actual lake that I report on.
And if it was the meter readings, the landowner gets the person who owns the water rights gets the report, but whoever is doing the pumping needs to help report it. It'd be like,
Well, so Rod could give the year-end
right,
number because
Right.
it's an annual thing, right?
right.
Okay. Yeah, Dave.
I don't know that he
No.
has to.
I don't think he has to.
No, but I know that, well, it's due the 15th of March, I believe, the water report of turning in your meter reading, and that has to be done.
But I think that Rod always, when he ran it,
Right.
state when he started, what the readings were, and what the readings were when he shut.
Well, I guess we just need clarity on who's doing the actual report. I mean, since things have changed now, and they've turned the water right into recreational, and it's a
Right,
different ballgame now. So,
It's,
who do we need to talk to?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we really need to talk to Brian Sherman, but he is on
yeah, he's doing law enforcement stuff.
doing law enforcement training.
Well, we talked to Mr. Billinger would be the one.
Yeah, I do have a call into Mark, and I have not. I think he was off for a couple days because I did not receive a call back from him. And normally we communicate.
I mean, it's not a big deal if they're going to leave it as it is, whatever. But we just need to know.
Well, as long as
If
that
things
water
have
report
changed.
needs to be, because it's $550 fine, I believe now, if it's not.
Well, it's a bunch.
It can be bad,
It's a
yeah.
bunch.
So I'm just thinking if we could mitigate that problem by just simply sending in our end of the year pumping.
Well, and I think that'd be smart to find out who is responsible for the water use data, who has the user ID and the PIN number to go online and file that. That's what I have to do for my water right.
That's what I do for all of mine.
So,
And even the landowners that I rent the wells from, I still report for them, and then send a copy of that report to them so that they know, and they go, yeah, this is turned in and this is what it is for their records, so that if state comes back,
Yeah.
they can say, well, this is when it was read and when it was done.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot more questions.
Well, I think we need to go ahead and get
Get the mapping done. And
I think if possible, if you guys tell me otherwise, that's fine. Is there any way we could have a written permission to do this?
well, I don't think
from
that's a
the
problem.
commissioners? And if that's possible, I'd like to, I am prepared to leave here
Go do
and
it.
start my map.
Okay.
Good.
I've got everything ready to go.
What do we need, Mr. Magnum?
Just something
I
simple.
write that Mr. Sanderson, by approval of the Board of County Commissioners, is allowed to have his motorized boat on the Smoky Garden waterway?
Or you'll have it then.
Yeah, it's
Have
in the
it
minutes.
but you want something to say, I've got,
Well, I just don't,
yeah, because I can see somebody, well, how come you can have a boat on the water and I can't? And so you're wanting
and
something.
that's why I want to do it properly. The state has requested it,
I think
so
Mr. Magnum whipping up with his laptop.
And I
so-
think it should be pretty much indefinitely because there's going to be follow-up things that you're going to need to do.
Well, and I think that needs to be,
It's
you know, understood and
Throughout the-
reported accordingly before anything.
it's part of
is
the
done.
it's part of the maintenance process. You know.
You know, no water skiing type stuff. Just
Yeah, putting around out there doing what you got to do.
what they're asking us to do and get on top of this and
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Gosh, I was gonna go water skiing. I don't know if there's, get it going fast enough before he gets to the end, before he has to turn around and come back. No. I think we need to go ahead and expedite this process as much as possible.
I'm sure Dave will be happy to.
Now, when we start talking about the chemical and stuff, the cost incurred on that, we can also keep track of that.
Yes, we want to keep track of
Everything.
everything that we do down there. And if we, you know, I don't know how you code things with, you know, road and bridge or any other department, but if we turn in, you know, and I guess, is that something that Ashley would keep track of, that we turn into her, or what?
Right. If Rod brought in bills from anything he did, she would charge it to Smoky Gardens.
Okay.
It has a line
But
item
as
for
far
Smoky
as
Gardens.
keeping track of the time, monetary input.
Well,
how
that would be the same thing as if, you know, say Road and Bridge, when we did the landfill work, this person went that day, did this, so we have
Actually,
that
you could
listed.
actually create a line item for grant expenditures. Right?
expense in general until we rent.
So, like right now, we have a Smoky Gardens fund,
Right.
and there's different line items within there. So we have trash hauling, we have contractual labor, we have,
Yeah.
So there you
Larry's
go.
time right
Okay,
now
that's
gives
what
track
we
to that.
need.
So you can see in detail or summarized what expenses go
Okay.
that fund.
Okay, that's what we need for O&M reports.
And then same thing would apply to application of chemicals. Whenever I hire what company to spray my field, they will give you that day, that time, you know, temperature, everything,
Yep.
what was applied at what rate and all that, so that we know we have the record to say, okay, this is one that was applied, this is the license number that it was applied under and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So that way it's kept and everybody can say, okay, you know, well, you sprayed this field and how come mine died? You know, that's always a concern,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Now, is any of this chemical controlled? I mean, does it
Restricted
require?
use.
Everything that we're looking at is labeled for use as we're using it. Dave done a little digging. We do not, for any of the labeled chemicals for proper use, we do not need to obtain any other authorization.
No applicator's license or any of that.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
Same thing would apply then to the purchase of it, you know, because
yes,
you have to have a private pesticide license or whatever to purchase this. Is this
and I've been able to purchase it through my aquatic supply.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not an issue.
Okay,
I'm
now
sure
how do
the county
you want to
will
do
use it.
that? Do you want to purchase that stuff through Aquatic Specialties and then bill the county, or do you want the county to buy it directly?
I would rather the county buy it directly. There's no sense having me
Okay.
in the middle of it.
No.
Because it will be just as available to the county as it would be to me.
Okay. So you just need to let us know what we're
Exactly.
ordering and
Yep.
from whom, and set up a vendor account and go from there.
So
Okay.
I do have one other thing to report. 6:30 this morning, 500 pounds of trout were stocked at Smoky Gardens.
Okay.
I need to go get my trout stamp and
Go get your trout stamp and you can sit in the boat and fish while I'm mapping.
okay.
There are a few, and we just got to kind of pick and choose what we're doing here. There are a few signage issues down there, and
we might have to have Brett look at it. What it really is we got the county signs, but intertwined with that, there's a lot, since, you know, we're starting fresh here with the CFAP agreement. There's a lot of state stipulations that are listed on the county signs that we really don't have anything to do with. So we took pictures of those, Brett, so we'll get your take on it. There was another sign I noticed right by the boat ramp that said, keep off the ice. Well, we decided that's not going to be a rule. So that needs removed. The little things like that. But on the two big signs, those was where there was some state regulations listed on.
Yeah, verbatim, word for word that were on county.
I don't know if that's a issue or not, but it seems like it'd be a cleaner deal if we didn't get mixed up in the state's regulations. But I don't know, something to look at. I'll send it to Brett.
You'll have to renew that at the end of the year, which is a good idea.
Well, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
We'll see if we can make it that far. All right, we need one more signature, and that's good to go. And we'll keep a copy of that.
Dave Spalsbury did want me to ask about the original CFAP. And if you guys were planning to do something with that to get the initial phase of cooperation in order. I guess unless there's a problem with that.
Got it right here for them to consider at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
We would, you know, that's the
starting point.
That's the basic CFAP. I mean, there's no, you know, you will do it my way or else.
Yeah.
Type stuff. And thank you guys, appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess getting that original document for the CFAP, the rest of it we will take care of as time goes.
Yep.
Keep track of the operation, maintenance, input, everything else. When we get the vegetation under control, the next phase of that will come into place, and I think that's going to be midsummer. We're going to be looking at other projects and where to go with that application for the CFAP grant application, and see if we can get that written up in a manner that gets us up the list.
Yep.
The need and benefit in Sherman County is definitely there. So that will help us tremendously.
Sounds good.
So I guess that's really all I have to add today, unless you have any other questions.
Nope, I don't think so. All right.
I think we're good there.
Get that done. We'll appreciate it. Yep. Appreciate you helping us out.
You bet. Not a problem.
It should benefit everybody, and
That's what it's
everything.
for.
Everything we do is to make it better.
That's what it's for. A lot of people want to use it, and need to use it, and have fun down there, and we get it so it's a fishable impoundment without dragging in a hay bale every time you throw something out.
Yeah.
You know, everything is going to benefit from that fish in particular, which will benefit everybody.
Yep.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time, guys. I
You bet.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Kenny.
Mr. Lovelace.
We're
Well, I'm bracing myself, but
Hey, this is a good report. So we just have, we have the first month of the year,
numbers. Okay, so we just do a pretty quick report this morning. So net patient revenue for the month is this is for the month of January, it's 3.2 million against a budget of 3.2 million. So we're actually
Right on budget.
pretty close. We're just 0.93% under on the gross revenue part. And then we have our contractual adjustments, and we get to a net patient revenue number of 1.7 million versus again 1.7, we're at 0.6 underneath. And then our total income with other stuff is 1.797 compared to 1.764. Now we're 1.9% ahead of budget. So with all those adjustments, so the bottom line is we're tracking pretty close to budget. We get on the expense side, salaries for the month were 611,000 against a budget of 655. And then we had other benefits and insurance and whatnot. This is to a total employee-related expenses of 793,000 against a budget of 838. So we're under budget.
How many employees does the hospital have? You know, contractual and non-contractual. How many people are we employed?
We're talking about 120 roughly. It fluctuates. Don't have too many contracted employees right now.
Right now, but yeah. Okay.
In fact, when we get to the next line of contract labor, we're a little bit over budget there, about 103,000. But if you look at the industry standard, we are way under what most other hospitals are having to pay for contractual labor right now. So we've done a pretty good job.
What is your most contracted? Is it nursing that is the most, or what's your highest?
Right now, it's
number?
actually radiology.
Okay.
I have a couple of contractors in for radiology. So we also have a couple in nursing too. But
How's general staffing? I mean,
general staffing right now, we've only got I think 6 open positions, so it's actually doing pretty well. We've weathered the storm fairly well. It's not over. I mean, the projections are that staffing, and not just in healthcare, it's nationwide, is an issue. But I think I gave you the numbers last year that healthcare turnover rate was about 27%. That's pretty rough. We came in at year end about 21%. So we were, again, better than the national average, but when the national average stinks, that doesn't mean a whole lot to beat that. So, that's what we're working on. Going all the way down, then the rest of our total operating expenses, 1.66 million versus a budget of 1.68. So we're under budget there. We're controlling expenses pretty well. Gives us a total expenses again of 1.7, and that comes up to a total operating income for the month of 55,000.
55,000.
well,
That's a black number, though.
It is.
That's a black number.
It is. And we were budgeted for 12,000, so
Okay,
we're 300% above.
There you go.
little victories.
You take them little ones when you get them.
Yeah. Well, the key is, and you all know, we do get tax dollars here. We get that, and that's what we're going to talk about here next. And we have the 340B income. You put those in, and that gives us our money that we use to maintain operations, to reinvest, and keep us up with equipment and whatnot. So if we can keep basically a break-even operating budget, then it allows us to use those other dollars, like the 340B and whatnot, for reinvestment. So for this month, 340B was $91,000, a little bit below what we had budgeted of 100-something thousand, but our total non-operating revenue came in at 155,000 for the month. So we take that up just on an annualized budget. We're total let me get that right here. Total operating revenue was 155,000. Non-operating revenue, I should say, on an annual budget of 2.2. So we're pretty close to where we're supposed to be after 1 month. So total net income, then we put it all together, is 168,000, and that's 1.39% ahead of budget. So just just slightly. So we're looking at a budget this year of about 1.99, almost $2 million for total income. And that's just about what our capital expenditures are for the year to reinvest. So we've got it mapped out to pretty much match the cash flows here. One of the numbers we look at a lot is EBITDA. 13% is kind of the line that we've got for good performance. We're at 13.49, so we're right there where we need to be. All in all, pretty good. I think I've mentioned this before. 2021 and 2022, we had very good performing numbers at the hospital, but those were a lot of that because of the COVID dollars that we were able to use. In 2023, there will be no more COVID dollars.
Right.
So we've been a little bit concerned. I think I shared with you last year at the beginning of 22. I said, we've got enough cash to weather 22. Looking at 23, we start to wonder, and 23 through 25 are the next 3 years. We're going to have to really be pretty careful. So I'm pleased to come in the first month in the black. You know, a little bit, because our projections are that this is going to be a pretty rough year with no additional support we've had the past couple of years.
We're going to be living in reality now.
Yeah. So along that line, our cash on hand, we're sitting right now at 268 days cash. Our average daily expenses are running about 54,000. It's down just a little bit from last month. They were 55,000. So we're trying to keep those expenses under control. Our volumes we're looking right now at med surge, so inpatient volume about 4. It's 4.16 our average, so just about 4 a day. In the emergency room is running at roughly 6 visits, 6.23 average per day. And then in our clinic visits, we've broken out our specialties just because of the way they're paid in 2 different sections. There's the straight specialty clinic, which is where we pay them a per diem and they do all their billing. They run about 183 visits there. And then we have those that we run under the health center where we do all their billing, and they come and work under our license. That's 112 a day. So we're running, for the month, we're running about almost 300 specialty visits per month. And then the regular family practice is 1,141. So total clinic visits about 1,436. That's roughly an average
For the month of January.
For the month of January, that'll run us about 17,000 for the year. I think last year we were at 18,000. That's our community benefit report is in its final reviews right now. Should be coming out. Should be in your mailboxes this month. We hope it out this month in March before April 1st. I think it'll show some pretty good numbers to the community of what we're doing out there. So.
Is there any major things going on as far as the facility itself? As maintenance, upkeep?
We had an issue just this past week with a gas leak, which you may have heard about. I don't know.
I had heard something about it, but no details.
It was great to see the team kick in. We've got Mike Killian there, our safety officer, and he just he really took charge and mapped it all out that we were working. So we were without gas just overnight in our boiler, so we did have one night that could have gotten a little cool, but it happened right at the end of the day, so we didn't have a lot of in and out traffic, so we were able to keep the air temperature in pretty well. Kept patients fairly comfortable that night. The next day we got that part of the leak fixed. And then the kitchen was down for about 3 days. They did a really pretty good job using electric cookers and whatnot. They had out their gas, but it's all back up and running. And in the middle of this, of course, we had the 2 days of ice last week, which made for some very, very slick parking lots.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's part of running a business. Those things happen. But we are right in the middle of. We talked about probably last year having to replace one of our air handlers.
Yep.
That work is scheduled for this next quarter, so should be done hopefully in April. And, out there, again, we haven't been having to interrupt any operations, but we're right on the verge of compliance with humidity and all that kind of stuff. So, gotta get that straightened out. We will have to do just some very, very minor abatement around a couple of the pipes. Bring that in. That'll all be handled. Should be done this week actually, so that we can get to work on that air handler. Air handler is paid for. That was paid for with some of these government funds.
Yep. Good.
So,
Good.
I have a couple questions. I know, like I think it was in December, you brought in a list of things that needed to be done at the hospital. Because I think I was not on the commission at the time. Thinking of all that and the age of our hospital, is there any thought of the hospital board? Are they thinking about, okay, we're just going to repair all that? Or are we thinking about going to a new hospital eventually down the road?
We put into the budget, and that might be what you're remembering, to do our initial feasibility studies on financing and whatnot. And so we have actually completed that report to the board this past month. That it looks like with our current cash flows and the way we get to take depreciation with our cost report, we get about 60 some odd % of it reimbursed on our Medicare cost report. We could probably do a project up to 60 million, much beyond that. So if we could replace the hospital in that number, then we could probably go forward. And that's where we're headed. We're now speaking with the architect to see the feasibility. We're looking at maintenance. I mean, I've probably got a couple $1 million worth of maintenance right now.
Yeah, I knew you did.
That's that list again we talked about. You start wondering about what's the best. I mean, they keep trying to keep the older building running, or
absolutely
do something new.
It's the same scenario and pretty close. You know, the hospital's not quite as old as the old nursing home was, but it's in that same.
They were built basically the same.
It's in that same frame. It's like it's still got good bones for something, but it's exceeded its
absolutely
expectations for what it's being done now.
Yeah, they figure life expectancy of a hospital is about 40 years.
Yeah,
we're past that.
So do you have like a separate committee looking into that, or is it just our board just doing that?
Right now, I'm doing it with my finance team and my building maintenance group, you know, the engineers that people have.
Sure.
We fully believe that this needs to be a community look.
I agree.
And so nothing will be done in the shadows, nothing will be done.
Yeah.
I think one of the things you've seen at least since I've been there, but with the administration, is we're pretty transparent. We try to keep things pretty open, and just will do it in the daylight, but in the dark. Nothing good happens in the dark.
No.
So.
Well, when Colby announced they're building their new building, of course, we had some shock waves go through our community. I got some calls. They were worried our hospital was going to close. You know, worried that we wouldn't be able to compete with that. And Colby and Goodland compete, quite honestly, very hard. You know,
they do. But as the city asked me the same question. The city and I basically told them, you know, this isn't about. I mean, yes, I know our communities compete, but this really is not about competition. What one hospital does, what the other one does. This is about taking care of our community.
Absolutely.
And we will eventually have to look at a new building. We're there. I don't think we'll go anywhere near what Colby's done. I think they have bitten off a huge amount of that. I'm not sure how they're going to pay for it, but that's, again, they did their due diligence. And, their CEO and I, we've been in communication. We talk fairly often.
When in your thought, like a long-term plan, are you thinking like in the next 6 years, or do you have a dateline on that?
Well, if we really said go today, we'd probably look at a minimum of 5 years from the go to the completion. So that's probably a good time frame, is 3 to 5 years.
Now, is a new designed hospital like totally different
than what the old one would be.
Yeah, so one of the questions our board raised was just that. We've got we're licensed for 25 beds. We've got, sitting in the meeting, Laura Lake just rattled it off. It's some 65,000 square feet. We don't need that big of space in today's healthcare. 40 plus years ago, healthcare was done in the hospital.
Yeah.
Now and I've been hearing it for the last decade at least, less heads and beds as kind of the buzz phrase around healthcare. The care is now mostly is to be preventative care. So insurance companies have all structured. Most of you have seen your insurance. We now get an annual physical paid for.
Yeah.
Women get their annual breast exam, mammogram, without charge as part of the treatment. So they're really looking at preventive medicine. So the nature of a hospital has changed. It's much more focused on the outpatient care and much less focused on the inpatient. And that's exactly opposite of what it was 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
When you went to the hospital for your health care. So it's kind of sad when the hospital makes money when things are health-wise rough.
Yeah.
Right. We want to make sure that we're really, and that's why these clinic numbers are so important, because we're showing that we are taking care of those preventive care.
Yep. All right.
Well, we appreciate the information.
No problem.
Anytime.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Eric?
Morning.
Good morning.
I had a couple things for you guys. One is, so for purchase approval, I'd like you guys to consider something. We started as department heads talking about this a year ago. I followed up with Brett on this, and it seems like it's still a good idea. So currently we archive email. Another source of records that we generate is social media. And currently we have no way of archiving that. And so if a request comes in to get those records, it's quite the challenge. And one of the things that is left out of that challenge is if a record gets deleted currently and we try to go back and get it, I can't get it. So there's a company called Page Freezer that has been talking to me about archiving our social media, and it's probably about time that we start doing it. For the first year, the total was going to be $2 under $3,000. Annual reoccurring was $2,748 and a one-time fee of $250. And I would recommend that we move forward with this. I believe we would pay for this out of the multi-department fund in the general. This accounts for up to 10 social media accounts. I believe we have 9 across. It's about 6 departments.
Okay.
I don't see any problem with it. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the archive procedure for social media for the county.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor that we purchase this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. There you go, sir.
Thank you. So it had your name attached to it, sir.
So I signed my life away again. Huh?
So you are in this top section.
Okay.
While he's signing, one thing I've had a discussion with Harvey about was the possibility of getting you guys devices so that your email's on it. We can get you documents. They stay secure. It keeps everything separate for you guys, and it's easy for you guys to access. Cost-wise, probably the best thing I can do is a 9th generation iPad They're $329 a piece. So for each of you to have one, the total will be $987.
And that would assure that our communication would be easier, that we could find that instead of
So
trying to use
Ashley
our
wouldn't have to
phone.
print my minutes every time.
Yeah.
Yes. So things that we can do, we can try to get a packet set up so that you could review whatever you need to prior to the meeting. You can have an easier access to your email so that you're not fighting whether it's a phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
I told you I'd get something to you. I can't do brand new because it doubles in price and goes from there.
That's okay.
I've driven used cars for a long time.
Well, it's still new. It's just
newly used, huh?
No, not even newly used. It's just been sitting on the shelf waiting for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
That's probably not a bad idea.
I entertain motion.
I'll make a motion to have Eric buy the tablets for each one of us.
Second.
Been moved in second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Thank you.
There we go.
So if they're sitting on the shelf, they'll be here in the next 6 months.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Mail?
Oh, we got Brett.
Uh-oh.
We got Brett inching his way up here again.
Kenny mentioned it, the CPAP contract. This is the initial setup, and it's based off of the water acres and where we fit within the qualifying parameters of the program. Basically, it's $1,030 that we get paid on an annual basis. There was a couple blanks that needed filled in based on Dave's recommendation. I went with 5 years, so it would be effective January 1st of this year and then in 2028. I've had a chance to look through it. The requirements of us are no different than the existing agreements we have with wildlife parks based on the memorandum. So as far as upkeep and whatnot. Then there is a lobbying disclosure. So there'd be 2 places for you to sign, Steve, which we don't have any lobbying interest at this point. So that was the next step that Kenny was discussing as far as getting us eligible to be in a position to then apply to the CPAP.
The 5 years, just to be clear, it's basically matched up with the length of time on the water right. Okay.
And the amount we get paid, it's a base of $1,030 a year, and it could be increased when you look through there. There's if it's $10 a surface acre, $5 if motorboating is allowed, motorboat fishing is allowed. $5 per surface acre is less or greater than 75%. And the shoreline is publicly accessible, so on and so forth. There's several things, some that don't apply to us, but given the size of the lake, it doesn't get above that base price. So we get the base. There's some reporting requirements in there, which I think you guys have already, I think at the last meeting, designated Kenny the contact persons for filling his information up top. But as far as maintenance costs and everything, we have to document $772.60 of that $1,030 for operations and maintenance expenditures, which I think that's a problem. So,
We've got groundskeeping and mowing down there. I'll take care of that.
Yeah.
So you guys just need to do a motion.
What's the motion to accept the terms and agreement of the CFAP?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
You sign both places.
I signed 2 places.
Okay.
If I
I will
need
get
something
that
else.
sent to Mr. Small.
Okay.
All right.
guys have any questions on the minutes?
Nope.
Did I hear a motion that we approve?
I so moved that we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's passed. Mail. I'll pass my
One is the minutes from the High Plains Mental Health Center.
Okay. No action needs to be taken. This is a summary of the water testing for the landfill. I do not see any red flags or anything, so I think we're in good shape here. And this is mostly on the landfill, the old one.
This is information from High Plains, and it basically is a spreadsheet showing the share benchmark funding request for each county that they serve. And looks like we're in the black. We're in good shape at 105% funding. So
okay,
we're doing okay.
And then last one is the USDA Ag Census. Have you ever had the privilege of a...
It's terrible. That's why I was hoping one of you guys could do that.
Yeah. I will take it and work on it. I'll call you when it's a very frustrating report to fill out. Put that in my pile. Okay. That's all the mail. Is there anything else that needs to be brought forward to the commissioners at this time? If not, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned.